Oh. Hi. Hi. So here we are. I am 8 months pregnant, and yes, we're going there. Let's talk about sex during pregnancy. You may have wondered, can sex hurt the baby? Is it going to trigger labor? Or what is my libido doing? Let's break it down and let's get into some of the biggest myths and facts about sex during pregnancy. Whether you're feeling extra frisky or totally uninterested, you're not alone and I've got you covered. Hopefully, by the end of this video, you'll feel a whole lot more confident about intimacy during pregnancy. Let's get into it. Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel, and if you are new here, welcome. I'm Dr. Holly, sex and relationship therapist, and today I'm diving into a topic that brings up a lot of questions, and that is sex during pregnancy. So if you've wondered things like, is it safe? Will it hurt the baby? Why am I more or less interested in sex during pregnancy? You're not alone. There are so many myths and misconceptions about sex during pregnancy, and today I'm going to try and separate the fact from the fiction. So stick around till the end because I'm also going to share some tips on how to navigate changes in libido and intimacy while pregnant. Now, the first myth that I would like to debunk is that sex during pregnancy can harm the baby. This is probably the most common fear that I hear. People worry that sex might physically hurt the baby or cause complications, but the truth is your baby is very well protected. Your baby is surrounded by the amniotic sac, cushioned by the uterus, and there's a mucus plug in the cervix that helps to protect against infections. Unless your doctor tells you otherwise due to a specific complication, penetration, orgasms, and sexual activity will not harm the baby. So no, the baby is not going to know what's happening, and you're not going to poke the baby or traumatize them. You may give them a little bit of a jostle if you bump up against the cervix, but no more than if the mother were to jog up a set of stairs. Myth number 2, sex can trigger labor. Technically, semen does contain prostaglandins, which can help to soften the cervix, and orgasms can cause mild uterine contractions. But unless you're already really close to your due date, these contractions are not strong enough to trigger labor. If you're full term and hoping to jumpstart labor naturally, some doctors might actually recommend sex as a way to help move things along, but for the most part, most of your pregnancy, sex will not send you into early labor. So you can relax and enjoy having intimacy with your partner throughout the duration of pregnancy. Myth number 3 is that pregnancy always increases your sex drive. Here's the thing. Some people do experience a surge in libido during pregnancy, especially in the second trimester. That's because increased blood flow to the pelvic area and higher levels of hormones like estrogen and progesterone can make you feel more aroused. But for other people, pregnancy comes with a whole host of other fun things like nausea, fatigue, body aches, and mood changes, which can make sex feel like the last thing you want to do. It's completely normal to experience fluctuations in desire throughout your pregnancy, and honestly, it can change from week to week or even from day to day. I know there are times in which I want to tear my husband's clothes off like a rabid animal, and the next day, sex couldn't be the furthest thing from my mind, and all I want is a bean burrito and to be left alone. The key here is really to communicate with your partner how you're feeling and when you are experiencing desire and arousal so you two can have fun together when the mood mutually strikes. Myth number 4 is that certain positions are dangerous. Another common worry is that certain sex positions could harm the baby or cause complications. But for the most part, you can experiment with different positions as long as they're comfortable. As your belly grows, you might need to adjust a bit because, let's face it, positions that put too much pressure on the belly or require deep penetration might become uncomfortable. In the later stages of pregnancy, side-lying positions like spooning or having your partner behind you or even doggy style can help to take the pressure off of your belly. Also, being on top helps to give you more control over the depth and the pace, and thus allows you to engage in sex in a way that feels more comfortable, even with a growing tummy. Myth number 5, orgasms can harm the baby. Orgasms do cause uterine contractions, but unless you have a medical complication like placenta previa or a history of preterm labor, these contractions are not strong enough to cause any harm. In fact, orgasms release endorphins and oxytocin, which can actually help with stress relief, improve sleep, and make you feel closer to your partner. So unless you have been given explicit instructions by your doctor to not engage in sex or to have orgasms, if the mood strikes, go for it. It might actually make you feel better. Now, the last myth that I have heard is that you should stop having sex in your 3rd trimester. Unless your doctor says otherwise, you can absolutely have sex right up until your due date. That said, your growing belly might again make certain positions uncomfortable, so this is a great time to get creative and play around with some different positions. Let your comfort and communication be your guide, and if the mood strikes, take your partner up on it. So with all of these myths, when should you actually avoid having sex? While sex is safe for most people during pregnancy, there are a few cases where your doctor might recommend avoiding it. One of which is that condition I mentioned previously called placenta previa, in which the placenta covers the cervix. Also, if you're at high risk for preterm labor, if you have unexplained vaginal bleeding, or if your water has already broken. If you're unsure if sex is safe for your case specifically, always check in with your healthcare provider. So now that we know that for the most part and for most people, sex, penetration, and orgasms are completely healthy and safe for both birthing parent and baby, how do we keep the intimacy alive during pregnancy? Well, pregnancy can certainly be an emotional roller coaster, and even if you're not feeling physically up for sex, you can still keep the intimacy alive in other ways. This can include cuddling and skin-to-skin contact, kissing and sensual massage, talking openly to your partner about how you're feeling, or my favorite, having my partner rub cocoa butter on my growing belly, all while he talks to baby and me. Exploring non-penetrative sexual activities like oral sex, mutual masturbation, and other forms of sexual stimulation is also a great way to continue to explore sex and intimacy while pregnant. Remember, sex goes way beyond just penetration, so play around and see other ways that the two of you can explore. And remember, pregnancy is a great time to deepen your emotional and physical connection, whether that includes sex or not. So there you have it, the truth about sex during pregnancy. It's safe, it's normal, and it's okay to experience changes in desire. The most important thing is that you are listening to your body and staying connected with your partner. If you found this video helpful, please do hit that like button, subscribe, and let me know in the comments what's a pregnancy myth that you've heard, or what is something that you might like me to explore in a future video. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, stay curious, stay connected, and remember, you deserve a healthy, happy, and pleasurable life. See you next time.